This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for June 19, 2023. And in the news this evening, man allegedly catches friend stealing from him in sting operation. Spurred by the disappearance of funds from a house in Water Lane District, Clarendon, citizens led their own sting operation, which resulted in the capture and the subsequent charge of the alleged thief. Charged with housebreaking and larceny is 23-year-old Eric Forrester, otherwise called the Choppy and Cush of Water Lane in the parish. Reports are that the complainant sold cows amounting to $510,000 and was keeping the money at home. It is alleged that over a 6-week period, the money kept going missing. The complainant became suspicious of his friend Forrester and reportedly devised a plan to trick him into believing nobody would be home at a particular time. It is alleged that the complainant then hid inside his own home and awaited the arrival of the suspected thief. Forrester is said to have entered the house where he stole $10,000 from a dresser inside his friend's room. He was then confronted by the complainant and subsequently handed over to the police, where charges were laid against him. Police named 8 inmates who escaped the Black River lockup. Police sources have named the 8 inmates who escaped their custody during a jailbreak at the Black River Police Station lockup overnight. They are Oral Cole, charged with robbery; Richard Brown, charged with robbery; Alric Hutchinson, charged with robbery; DeWar Williams, charged with illegal possession of firearm; Kenneth Stewart, charged with illegal possession of firearm; Anwar Hines, charged with murder; Dean Simpson, charged with rape and robbery; and Javon Sims, charged with murder. They cut the metal bar at the window. It has to be a machine they used to cut that. One cell guard with 60-odd prisoners, a police source told the news on Monday morning. Police have since launched a manhunt in search of the 8 inmates. St. Catherine man pleads guilty to wife's murder. Tractor operator Peter Walters today pleaded guilty to the fatal stabbing of his wife during a domestic dispute at their home when he appeared before the St. Catherine Circuit Court. Walters is to be sentenced for murder on October 13. Justice Bertram Morrison set the date after Walters admitted to killing his wife. The incident happened on the early morning of August 26, 2022. The court heard that about 2 a.m., Walters went home to Berkshire Hall District in St. Catherine and that an argument developed between him and his wife, Nikisha DaCosta Walters, a 34-year-old laborer. A knife was brought into play, which the husband used to stab his wife several times. He subsequently went into his car and drove to the Linstead police station, where he was taken into custody. He was later charged with murder. He made several court appearances and eventually pleaded guilty to the offense today. Probe underway into major payroll fraud scheme at UHWI. Fraud squad detectives attached to the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch are probing a major payroll fraud scheme at the University Hospital of the West Indies. 4 people who were collecting salaries under the guise that they were employees of the hospital have been arrested and charged. The accused are to appear in the St. Andrew Parish Court on Monday. The news was informed that almost $2 million has been defrauded under the scheme. The fraud was reportedly uncovered last year by internal auditors at the UHWI. The police are continuing their investigation to identify employees of the hospital who may be involved in the racket. Black River student severely burnt in kitchen explosion needs US $45,000 for airlift to America. The news understands that burn victim, Akelia Dunkley, a 7th grade student of the Black River High School in St. Elizabeth, is in need of urgent assistance to raise US $45,000 for air ambulance services to get to the United States for surgery. She is currently battling for life at the University Hospital of the West Indies in St. Andrew, suffering from complications associated with 3rd-degree burns she is said to have received from an explosion, which occurred inside a kitchen at her house in St. Elizabeth on Friday morning. Sources told the news that the incident occurred while Dunkley was attempting to prepare a meal around 5 a.m. ahead of school. A gas cylinder allegedly exploded and the fire burnt her school uniform off her body. Her family has set up a GoFundMe account and is appealing for the public's urgent assistance in flying the child out of Jamaica, as well as help to cover medical expenses in the United States. For further details, people interested in assisting may call the child's father, Rowe Madonkley, at 876-383-5089 for further information. Daniel Rowe died from incised wound to the neck, autopsy finds. The autopsy conducted on 8-year-old Daniel Rowe, who was abducted from her school in Portmore earlier this month and killed, has shown that she died from an incised wound to the neck. The news visited the Tranquility Funeral Home where the autopsy was performed. Daniel's parents who were present were inconsolable. Daniel was taken from the Brayton Primary and Infant School on Thursday, June 8. It is believed that she was taken to an abandoned building along Roosevelt Avenue in the St. Andrew Central Police Division, where her throat was slashed. She managed to exit the building and was transported to hospital, where she later died while being treated. Trelawney commuters stranded as taxi operators protest the deplorable road conditions. Several commuters, including children, were left stranded on Monday morning as taxi operators plying the route between Falmouth and Wakefield in Trelawney withdrew their services over the deplorable road conditions in the parish. The protesters gathered as early as 6 a.m. The cabbies lined their vehicles along one side of the Hammersmith Main Road with enough room for traffic to flow on the other side. The taxi operators are appealing to the authorities to move swiftly to do repairs on the pothole-riddled road between Granville and Bounty Hall. They lament that they often have to dig deep into their pockets to cover the cost of repairing defects to their vehicles. It cost me $69,000 the other day to spend on my vehicle, leaving me with only $500 in my billfold. A cabbie who only identified himself as Cleve told the news. All of $69,000 just flew off like that because of the condition of the road. The taximan added that he had to buy 2 tires, and on another occasion he had to buy 3 at one go, as well as a front-end parts. Another protesting taxi operator chimed in, "If they can't asphalt it right through, just patch out the pothole and give us some relief." The stretch of road in question forms a part of the 16-kilometer thoroughfare between Falmouth and Springvale, which has been a source of discontent for many years, resulting in several protests by residents and motorists. Member of Parliament for Trelawney Northern, Tova Hamilton, had initially lobbied for repairs to be done on the entire corridor. However, after discovering that the project would cost more than $800 million, which she said was unavailable, the first-time MP settled for undertaking and upgrading on a phased basis. This resulted in a $200 million rehabilitation project on the Wakefield to D-side corridor, which was followed by repairs on the Martha Bray to Holland Road that was recently completed at a cost of $15 million. The cabbies are threatening to intensify their protest on Tuesday if they do not get an acceptable update. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.